Good morning, everybody. It is a Saturday. I finally have wrapped up all the other nonsense in my shop to where I can actually start to enjoy myself here. So what you're looking at here is, you know, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I never got around to it. Let me turn it around. This guy, I have never done like drag racing on an official like drag strip with the lights and all that stuff. I've done like some street racing and stuff. I don't want to admit that out loud, but you know, some back roads with friends where it doesn't really mean nothing. You know, there's just you and your friends arguing about who won. You know, I want to put something together to sharpen, or not sharpen my skills, but keep myself sharp, if that makes sense. When you get older, you know, if you don't use some of your reflexes and stuff, you start losing them. So this is something I'm putting together just for me to have fun with. This is like if I want to get away for the weekend. I only live a half an hour from Gainesville, you know, the big drag strip, you know, where they have like the Gator Nationals and stuff, which was supposed to be this coming weekend today, but I'm sure they're rained out. That sucks. Maybe they'll postpone it till next weekend and I can actually go. That'd be awesome. I'm going to be in Gainesville anyway for a flower show with my wife. What we got going on here, this is Powerglide 2-speed. The transmission that I have is from a 64 Impala. I am going to prepare it for drag racing. So I bought this book because I wanted to learn how to modify the valve body to do trans brake. I get the book, and all it says about the trans brake, this is from a company called TSR. All it says in the book about the trans brake is to buy their kit. I mean, very disappointed. That's how you make your money. That's how you keep your money. You know, you don't let all your secrets out. Anyway, there are some modifications I had to do to this half of the pump. And the only real thing you got to do to this half of the pump is where the gear comes around. This is a sharp edge here, so you know, the guys who mess with these already know all this stuff. You know, I'm just learning all this stuff. So you got to round this off a little bit. I'll probably do that with a Dremel or something. I don't know. The reason being, and I'm using all, you know, Sonex stuff. So when I got this transmission, it was just sitting in a yard, like literally on the ground, and anything external was rusted. So this is the stator tube here. You see the part that was outside completely rusted up. Probably nothing wrong with this. Like if I had a way to clean it, I'm sure it would clean up and I could use it again. I've decided to get the Sonex hardened stator. So here we go. The way these things install, this area here is splined. It's like a knurl. And you know, this has been hardened and everything. This is a nice new clean one. But the only thing that really keeps these from spinning, this goes inside the torque converter, is this, you know, knurl down here, this spline. That gets pressed into the other side of this. So I've got everything here to put the pump back together. Oh, that's right, I was talking about these gears. I never opened the gears to show you guys. They call it the crescent. Where this comes together, this tooth right here can catch this and, you know, do some damage. So they say to round this off a little bit, and that's all in this book. You know, if you're new to Powerglides, which I've never messed with one, simple transmission, but there's a lot of little things, little updates to do. But this book will tell you a lot of stuff. I'm on YouTube watching other guys. There's a couple guys that talk about updates for like turbo cars and stuff that you can do. And this doesn't have, you know, this is like the one guy said, this is an old book for like nitrous applications, you know. So a lot of things have changed in the racing industry to where some of the modifications, you don't need them. There's other things you can do to help you better with the turbo applications, which, let's talk about that for a minute. I've got, this is something, it's been sitting around the shop here for a while. This was someone else's, and, you know, it's one of them things, you don't have a purpose for it, so it's not an upfront mandatory thing to do, you know what I mean? And it's kind of been sitting around here. I have a need for it, so I made a deal with the owner of it, and it's mine now. So it has a stock cam in it. We're going to go with the sloppy stage 3. And my plans for this are, So this is like straight out of a junkyard. The reason it's not put together is we're missing a part for it. I'm ordering that part to get it back together. There's nothing aftermarket's going in this except the cam. The sloppy stage 3 cam requires shorter push rods and the beehive valve springs. Literally all I'm doing to this. We're going to use the MSD ignition system. We're going to put a manifold on here with a carburetor. Done deal. And it's going into a S10 Blazer. So this is going to have the Powerglide behind it, and this is what's going to get me on the track and get my memory, what do you call it, muscle memory started, you know, reaction time off the line and stuff. Do a little bit of sportsman type racing and get me there. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Now the red truck, I know everybody's like, well, what about the red truck? I'm not going to race that. It's like my daily, not a daily, but you know, weekend cruiser kind of thing. That's not for me to go out and beat up. What I'm putting this into is going to be for me to go out and beat up. If I wreck it, you know what they say, don't race what you can't afford to lose. So if I go out there and wreck this thing, I can park it and worry about it later. I don't have to worry about getting to work with it the next day. You know what I mean? So here we are. I'm about to install this, which is pretty straightforward. But one thing I wanted to touch on here, this little guy right here, one of the modifications was to tap this with a 7/16 tap and then use a set screw to block it off. What this is supposed to ensure, this little guy here went under that, like this. No, the other way around. Like that, yeah. So it would have looked like this. It would have looked like this, spring-loaded. So what this was supposed to do, it's your cooler bypass valve. So this is that little check ball, and this little pocket is representing the pump. And it says converter out oil. So all that hot oil, what they're saying is if you blow this line off your cooler, it will force the oil to go through this thing instead. I don't know how, but what that modification's doing, this channel right here, you're threading it and putting that plug in there, forcing the oil to go through this circuit. Now that's kind of a modification that I guess they did back in the day, but the problem is if you do have a blockage in your cooler or a collapsed line or something happens, you know, your transmission fluid's on the ground at that point and not in the transmission, and you effectively burn your transmission up. I don't know. I don't know if I can find, like, there was a lot of junk and stuff in here. I mean, you can kind of see the spring is a little, it's kind of been handling it a lot, so it's not that messy, but I don't know if I could just put this thing back in place and use it again. I kind of ruined it taking it out. Is that the way it went? I guess so. I'd rather just put it back in. I think I'm gonna try. I mean, this is a little messed up. The ball is a little pitted, but a safeguard for, you know, this is one modification I don't think I'm going to do. A lot of the guys, like I said, there's a lot of things that they used to do back in the day that they're saying they don't do anymore, and this is one of them, you know. So I'm going to see if I can press this piece back in here, and we're going to leave it at that. I don't know, see that? There's no resistance with this, unless I didn't have it down far enough. What did I just do? I'm going to beat it with the new part I just bought. No. So this is a resistance fit, tolerance fit, and I ruined it. So I was really hoping to kind of get this pump together today. Oh shoot. I don't know. I might have to block this off just because, you know, if I can't find these new parts online, I might be in trouble. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, with this one here, so this passage here comes down inside here. That is supposed to line up with this one. So when I install this, it's got to be in this direction. And the key is you put something in here and you press it down until, this is a 1/4-inch hole I drilled it to. I got a gigantic 1/4-inch drill bit. Let me go grab that right quick. So this is a gigantic 1/4-inch drill bit. That fits in there perfect. So the idea is I'm going to take this over to the press and I'm going to press this down until that, is that going to fit in there? I'll feel it, but it won't fit in there. All right. Anyway, that's supposed to get me close. So I'm gonna go put this on the vise, or not the vise, the press, and put this in place. Another modification that I did to this, this is a like regulator valve, pressure regulator valve. There's a pin here with a spring and then a shuttle valve, and the modification they tell you to do, you see the shuttle valve here. You take the shuttle valve out, flip it around so the cone is out instead of the pin, and you just 1/8-inch pipe plug and plug it in place, and that's it. You run the threads down far enough so this is where the pin used to go. It doesn't create a leak, and that's it. That's one of the other ones. The other modifications were this thing, whatever this was, they just tell you to yank that out. I forget what they said it was. It wasn't important. But all of these like other ports, these up here, this one. Oh, this one here, I threaded this. So this is your converter charge. They tell you to thread it and put a plug in it. The key is you drill your plug out to like, you can tune your line pressure to the converter. So if you put an 1/8-inch hole in there, you know, you can mess with it. You don't have to put that, that's not, you don't put this in to block it. You want your fluid to go through there. But you can tune how much fluid you want to go through there for the turbo cars. That's like kind of a modern update. But I've got I think the guy that I was watching on the video, he said he was using brass plugs. And this was one, when I ran the tap in, it actually got good threads in there. Versus this one, I barely got any threads in there. That's what's making me leery about this. The whole reason why I decided not to go with this, not only are they saying not to do it, but there's barely any threads. So when I plug this in, it's real wobbly and like you can almost press it out. So I was gonna like Loctite it in, but with the temperature of the fluid, it might work this loose. So that's why I'm kind of deciding against that. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go set up the press, and we're gonna get the stator tube back in here and continue on with this. So that's the setup. Usually I guess you would do this on like an arbor press, which I have yet to buy one of those. So we're using old Harbor Freight's hydraulic press with the car jack in it. So the idea is I'm not going to go in one shot. I'm going to go down, come up, go down, come up, centering it. You know, if you pushing it off center and you keep going, you're going to really screw things up. So right off the bat, I don't really like how this is going, but let's see here. There we go. See what I mean? I should have let up and got another bite on it. I hope that didn't do anything. I was feeling some tension on it. It should go nice and easy. When I pressed them out, they came out real easy. Yeah, see, now it's nice and smooth. Okay, so we got this hole kind of lined up with that. I lined it up as best as I could. What happened here? Oh boy, I think I screwed this up. That's what the heck happened. Uh-oh. Yep, I sheared this off. What a dumbass. I am such a dumbass. I've already broke it. That's how quick, if you're not paying attention to things. I don't believe I did that. I mean, I do, but well, so much for that. Damn is all I gotta say. I thought I had it out. It must have slid in when I was setting everything up. That's a bummer, man. That's really a bummer. I don't believe I did that. So there you can see I've sheared this drill bit. I'm going to try to get it out. I don't think I've ruined the pump or this part of it. I got to figure out how to get that out of there. Let's look at the stator. So this is the part that actually sheared it. It's into like the ramp area here, to the beveled, the chamfered area. So I might just clean this up and use it. The heck with it. You know, this isn't going into a high horsepower application. Although I should have been more careful of what I was doing. This is for me, you know. This is sometimes how you learn things, you know what I mean? So I'm going to clean this up right quick and then we'll get back at it. Give me a few minutes here. So I got the thing out of there, the drill bit. It left a little metal burr. I got that out of there. This here, where it came in and crashed with it, it put a little dimple in here. I ground this down with a little die grinder, and I'm using this as a 25. It's not getting hung up, so I'm gonna roll with it. You know, this is for me. This is my own stuff. So you know, if I screw this up, it's on me. You know, if this causes a problem and fails. Anyway, we're going to try to install this again and try not to mess it up. So let me get this all lined up again and we'll go to it. There we go. I've ground the broken end to a point, so maybe it'll fall in that little dimple easier. Let me get this lined up and then I'm going to put that in so I don't do this again. So normally when I make mistakes, I don't show them on camera. I make it look like everything's happy-go-lucky and everything works. But like all my boat stuff that I did when I was rebuilding the outdrive, I had a few mishaps. But I didn't show what I did, I don't think. There might have been one or two that I came across. It's going in really easy. Guess it's supposed to if you're not breaking stuff. But, you know, for what I'm doing here, this is for me. I mean, the boat stuff was for me also. But, to show everybody, you don't have to be perfect all the time. So this Sonax one, this spline part here is slightly larger. So it's more of a tolerance fit going into the pump. So it's giving me a little more resistance. In fact, let me back off and center it again. Just to make sure. Yeah, we're still good. Alright, this is it. Sending her home. Alright, let me back off and go at it again. Let's see if I can see down in that hole. No, not yet. Feels like I've bottomed out, but these aren't in all the way. Let me flip it around and see what's going on. She's there. I never felt this drop in though. I'm gonna leave it there. It is where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna call it good. We'll see what happens.